Hey there, what's going on guys, Wookie2312 here, and in today's we're going to talk about Call of Duty 2016. I know Black Ops 3 is not even out yet, but I want to talk about the next Infinity Ward game, because I've been really interested about Infinity Ward and what they're going to do in 2016, because of course Ghost was not a commercial success. A lot of people don't like it. I personally, it was my favourite game. I know there's some big things, some game breaking things that were wrong in that game, but yeah, I want to talk about where Infinity Ward will go in 2016. I know Black Ops 3, 62 days until that comes out, so Black Ops 3 hasn't even come out, and people are already talking about the next Infinity Ward game, but I genuinely want to talk about it because it's a very interesting topic, and a topic I think you guys might be interested in, because of course we've got 62 days until Black Ops 3. I am so hyped for it, and I'm just really wondering what the next Infinity Ward game will be, and whether they'll obviously carry on, because I've had some new they've had some new lead designers, some new people come into the studio. Some people from the old Infinity Ward team have come to the new one. So yeah, that kind of leaves out a lot of stuff that could possibly happen. And I'm just really curious. I have had this idea what will happen with Infinity Ward, and I just want to share it with you guys in this video. So of course, before I start off, I'm going to do a bit of a spoiler here about the Call of Duty Ghosts ending. But yeah, at the ending of Call of Duty Ghosts, there is basically, you're on the beach. I genuinely can't remember the main character's name. But yeah, you're on the beach and you get taken away, or you get captured by Rogue, which I can only presume is Rogue, really. You don't actually see the guy that was captured, but you can see a hand, and I can only presume it's Rogue, really. But yeah, you get captured by him and taken away somewhere else. Now, that would obviously lead on to Ghost 2. I think that's what Infinity Ward were actually trying to do before the game was released, because of course they didn't know it'd be this much of a kind of a failure, in my opinion. They didn't realize it'd be that badly received, so of course they presumed, alright, we're going to make Call of Duty Ghost 2 in 2016. However, with of course the sales drop of Call of Duty Ghosts went from 24 million in Black Ops 2 to 15 million in Call of Duty Ghosts, which is a pretty steep drop. It's something like 33%. So of course, I honestly think Activision may have told Infinity Ward to not make a Ghost 2, because obviously if an average consumer, unlike me and you, if an average consumer sees Call of Duty Ghost 2, and some of them may not like it, quite a big amount of casual players may have not liked Call of Duty Ghosts, and they see Ghost 2 on the shelves on launch day, they're probably not going to pick it up, because they think, alright, the last Ghost is bad, I'm not going to buy this one. That's kind of how it works. So I genuinely think Activision may have told Infinity Ward to make a new series, to make a new IP. So again, what this IP name is going to be called, people say it's Modern Warfare 4, but I genuinely, that is a stupid thing to say. Like, Modern Warfare 4, that does not sound right. So I don't think Modern Warfare 4 will ever happen. It's just, the Modern Warfare series was a trilogy, and I think it'll just stay like that. So yeah, I genuinely think that the next Infinity Ward game will be a sequel to Ghost, but not called Ghosts. You see this before in World War. So go back to 2008. Call of Duty World War came out. It was the one after Call of Duty 4, which was Call of Duty 4 was a commercial success. It got everyone into Call of Duty. It was something new. It was something just fresh, something really cool. And then Treyarch went back to World War 2, because at this point the World War 2 genre was quite stale. Many people have had the Medal of Honor series before that, and all the Call of Duties that were in World War 2, and it was kind of a stale. You couldn't really do much about the World War 2 scene now. It was just played out too much, and that's why the Modern Warfare series had a big success, because it went out into the future. So in 2008, Call of Duty World War came out. So World War wasn't received as well as Call of Duty 4, because people wanted a modern game, because modern games was the thing right then. And this is one of the reasons why I didn't personally buy World War at launch, because I genuinely wasn't interested in it. Yeah, so World War came out, and what we saw with World War is what we saw with Ghost. So I can't remember, it must have been like 6 months into the life cycle, or 5 months into World War life cycle, more people started to play Call of Duty 4 than World War, which we saw in Call of Duty Ghosts, where many people went back to Black Ops 2. So we kind of see the same trend going on here. So people went back to Call of Duty 4, and that led, of course, Treyarch to not make a World War 2, because I genuinely think if World War was a success, they would have made a World War 2 or a very, very similar game to that, which was set in the World War 2 scene. Obviously, that didn't happen, and I don't think the sales actually declined in World War. They may have declined slightly, but the player base definitely stayed on Call of Duty 4 and didn't go to World War. So then we jumped to Black Ops. So Black Ops and World War, if you guys know, they're basically a sequel to each other. They're in that same story. In the same story arc. So of course we see characters like Reznov in World War and Black Ops, even though Black Ops is 20 years apart from World War. We see in the same story arc, we see kind of things, we can see flashbacks to the World War II scene in Black Ops, and you can definitely tell that's in the same story arc, and I can see Infinity Ward doing a very similar thing to that, maybe creating a new IP, but it's being in that same story arc, and maybe even being a direct sequel to Ghost 2, but obviously not being called Ghost. So that's what I genuinely think that Infinity Ward will do in 2016. I don't think Ghost 2 will happen, I don't think Modern Warfare 4 will happen, I think it'll be a entirely new IP, but it's in that same story arc as Call of Duty Ghosts. Of course, the reason why I'm really doing this video is because, well, basically, I'm going to be honest, I saw Chaos's video. Chaos is good YouTube, honestly, I don't mind him at all, but he made this video about whether it be called Modern Warfare 4 or Ghost 2, and it just really set me off. Obviously, Modern Warfare 4 is not going to happen, and I generally don't see Activision letting a Call of Duty Ghost 2 come out, even though the Call of Duty Ghosts was a giant flop, kind of like World War, but World War wasn't as bad as Ghosts right now. World War kind of did get some shit for being in World War II, because it just Treyarch wasn't. It was kind of Infinity Ward back then, who were seen like the best developer of Call of Duty, and not Treyarch, because Treyarch before then they made Call of Duty 3, which by the way, I loved Call of Duty 3. It's the first Call of Duty I played, but that game was not the same as Call of Duty 1 and 2, and it was nowhere near as good as Call of Duty 4. So at that point in time, Infinity Ward was the best development team. That's why I could see anyway, that's why I can see Infinity Ward going with is a brand new IP, but in that same story arc. That's what I kind of think. If you guys agree with me, of course, you can leave down in the comment section. If, of course, you do disagree with me, you guys think that Ghost 2 could happen. Again, it's a possibility, but I genuinely don't think a Modern Warfare 4 will happen. One thing about Modern Warfare 4 that I'm kind of going on a bit here, but one thing about Modern Warfare 4 that just didn't seem right to me the first time I heard it was Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare. And let's be honest, there's a game, of course, Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare, and if they make a Call of Duty Modern Warfare 4, there can be confusion with that name, because it's basically very similar to Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare, and I genuinely just doesn't sound right, because the name sounds so similar to Call of Duty 4 that I genuinely never think that Call of Duty Modern Warfare 4 could ever happen. So yeah, if you guys did enjoy the video, you can hit that like button. That would be greatly appreciated. That's kind of my talking. I actually really wanted to talk about this topic, because I believe it's a very important topic, and it's a topic you guys should know about. So again, that's it for the video, really. Of course, if you did like the video, leave a like. That would be greatly appreciated. And as always, thanks for watching.